I'm Robinson Miles in Evansville. Right now I'm at the Cherry Cherub, a tattoo studio owned and operated entirely by women. The owner says they've had a lot of success creating a comfortable space for members of the LGBTQ community as well as women. So a more inclusive place to get your ink. That story ahead at 10 o'clock. Now, of course, the park is up and running, so go to 14news.com to see a schedule of days that you can come visit, in case you're a fan of thrill rides, funnel cakes, ice cream, and seasonal theming. Reporting in Holiday World, Robinson Miles, 14 News! There's something wild going on at Yellow Creek Park in Owensboro. And not just my friend Albuquerque here, a gray squirrel. That's all because of the Allen family, who runs the Nurture to Nature Wildlife Rehabilitation Center in town, and they've got a lot bigger friends than him. The coaches say they're eager to coach anyone who wants to learn, even me.
You may release. Boom.
The local congregation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has been making monster ears here on Franklin Street for over 40 years. So if you like supporting local youth groups and you don't mind a little bit of fried, sugary goodness, this might be one to visit. Hundreds of American flags line the route from a funeral home in Whitesville to the cemetery. The route that Private First Class Robert Wright will take on Friday on his way to his final resting place. Technically, everything the museum finds here is the property of your brother's bookstore. So once the museum finishes with its exhibit, it will return all the artifacts, and then your brother's bookstore will have its own exhibit upstairs. Reporting in Evansville, Robinson Miles, 14 News. The volunteers at booth 89 on Franklin Street think pretty highly of their offering to the Fall Festival.
It's like a cinnamon sugar explosion.
We try to get it real nice and gooey.
10 out of 10. I really like it.
Awesome. They are the best thing you've ever tasted in your life. If you haven't tried it, you haven't lived.
They're called monster ears, but the fried dough dipped in a cinnamon sugar syrup is made monster-free. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has made them a fall festival staple for over 40 years, something that can make the booth pretty hectic at its busiest.
And you're just like, where do I go? What's my station?
Having a booth at Fall Festival is the culmination of a lot of work, which starts weeks prior. In mid-September, about 15 people got together at their church to prepare the Monster Ears syrup. The process starts with sugar, lots of it. It's then paired with cinnamon, syrup, water, and some other secret ingredients they didn't want to share.
It's hard to put into words how much effort goes into it, from planning to making everything to ordering to actually manning the booth, which takes hundreds of man hours over the course of the Fall Festival week.
In September, they made about 130 gallons of their signature syrup. Volunteers say all the work is made worth it because all the money raised is a game changer for their youth camps and programs.
It's a huge difference. The ability to be able to do this during the Fall Festival allows us to make our budget for the year for 5 different units, 5 different congregations. So it's a huge deal.
Volunteers say all the work is not just about raising money, but to use that money to help raise good kids.
It's a lifesaver, especially for parents that don't have enough money maybe to send their kids to youth camp and stuff like that. It completely funds all of that. It also helps the community by turning out good kids, and we build a good product. We have those are the seeds of our future.
Yeah. Oakland Kuhn was born in September of 2021. After having 2 boys, she was the first daughter for Doug and Jackie Kuhn.
I always say now she was already an angel born of how perfect she was.
The tornado destroyed Jackie's mother's home where the family took refuge. Oakland later died from the injuries she sustained that night. She was only 2 months old.
We are not the same people as we was as the night of December 10th.
In the wake of the destruction, they didn't have much time to process their feelings. Their 2 boys needed their comfort. Jackie's mom needed a place to stay, and they still had bills to pay. Now they're a year removed from what happened, but their feelings are still raw.
It's been so long, but it really hasn't been in my mind and in my heart, you know. Like my daughter is still gone, and it feels like she was just here yesterday.
Doug and Jackie watched as Dawson Springs started to put itself back together. Jackie's mom's home is now rebuilt, but that's bittersweet for them.
The more people get back from the tornado that lost material things, the more I feel more robbed of my daughter.
The hospital gave us this.
Doug and Jackie's bedroom is filled with keepsakes and reminders of their little girl, all donated by friends and strangers. They say people all over the country and around the world requested their mailing address and sent tributes to honor Oakland. Jackie says she's struggled to face reminders of who she lost, but she's coming to embrace them.
I'm getting to a point where I could look at her face and smile now. You don't know how to make food.
They're finding ways to move forward as a family. Jackie has a TikTok account with almost 300,000 followers, which she uses to connect with other bereaved parents. She also went back to school and is studying agriculture. They say they've been overwhelmed by the kindness people have shown them. A GoFundMe campaign meant they could address a range of needs of their family, including installing a storm shelter.
It's crazy how much we're loved and we're backed up and how many people support and love our family.
Christmas is a bittersweet time for their family. Last year, Oakland's funeral had been just days before, but the festivities meant a lot to their boys who needed a smile. This year, their tree is pink to remind them of the fifth member of their family. Robinson Miles, 14 News. The Allens' love of animals has given them a unique reputation in town.
People come up to me every single day and say, "What new animal have you worked with today?"
12 years ago, the family started Nurture to Nature Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. Their goal is to help orphaned or injured animals get healthy and then return to the wild, and they say they've helped thousands so far. They keep some of the animals at Yellow Creek Park. The rest live at their home.
We don't live in a traditional household.
There you can find a wide variety of animals native to the area. They say some family members have even complained at times their home is more cages than furniture.
This one still has his eyes closed.
The Allens say some people are critical of what they do, saying nature is cruel and they should just let it take its course. The Allens disagree.
Nature isn't the only factor here. Humans are. It's just like animals are getting hit by cars. It's not that animal's fault that it's getting hit by a car. There's constant conflict between the human race and animals, and we try and just balance it out.
For example, Friday morning, one of the Allens saw a possum on the side of the road that had been hit by a car and killed. She stopped to check the possum's pouch and sure enough, found these two, alive and well. They say it's hard not to get attached to the animals, but it's for the best to send them off once they're ready.
It's sometimes a little tearful, just to see them go, but it's always rewarding, always.
1, 2.
That was the case for a red-tailed hawk Friday morning, who made it back to the wild after a brief stay with the Allens.